सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय। 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। ॐ नमः शिवाय। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। just chant the first verse, page number 59. Pratah Smarami hridi samsfuratmattatvam Sachit sukham paramaham sagatim turiyam Yad swapna jagara sushuptimavaiti nityam Tad brahma nishkalamaham nacha bhuta sanghaha. Early in the morning, smarami, I remember. What do I remember? Hridi samsfurat. In my heart is this Atma Tattvam shining, illumining. What is his nature? Sat Chit Sukham. Existence, consciousness, bliss. Paramaham Sagatim. This is the one goal of all the Paramahamsas, realized masters. This is where their attention is all the time. Atma Tattva, which is Turiyam, the fourth state. How is it the fourth state? Yad Swapna Jagara Sushuptim Avaiti. It is that state which illumines the Swapna, dream, Jagara, waking, Sushupti, deep sleep. So this is the only reality. Hence Nityam. How do you know that something is real or unreal? That which is ever there is real. That which comes and goes is unreal. So that is the definition of reality. Abadhyatvam satyatvam. Satyatvam. What is real? Abadhyatvam. It should not undergo badha, negation. So if you see all the three states, they keep on getting negated by each other. In the waking, the other two are negated. In the dream, the other two are negated. In the sleep, the other two are negated. So anything which gets negated is not real. But all these three states are avaiti. They are illumined by this turiya state, by this consciousness. That means consciousness is ever there. In the waking, we are aware of the waking world. In the dream, we are aware of the dream world. In the deep sleep, we are aware of nothing. That nothing also is an awareness, is seen in awareness. So since awareness is there all the time, this alone is real. Tri kaleshu, tri avasthasu, yat tishtati tat sat. In all the three periods of time, in all the three states of mind, what stays is sat. So hold on to the reality. Morning when you are fresh, do this. Throughout the day also you must do, but you may not be able to do as efficient as the morning. Because the mind also has to cooperate. Though this reality is beyond mind, it can be known through the mind only. Satvik mind. Make this a habit to hold on to the reality, then you will never suffer in life. Why do we suffer in life? We suffer in life because we ignore the reality. Reality and peace, they go together. Illusion and sorrow, they go together. So therefore, make it a habit throughout your life to hold on to the reality and not get carried away by illusion. Tad Brahma Nishkalamaham. That partless, faceless Brahman I am. Nacha Bhuta Sangaha. Not this assembly of elements, combination of elements. So when we identify with the combination of elements, an entity is born. What is that entity? Ego. Ego is the entity. Identification leads with ego, and this ego is the cause of all problems in life. All the paths have only one purpose, to somehow destroy this ego. In Bhakti Yoga, you lovingly surrender unto God and thus efface the ego. In Jnana Yoga, you understand the illusory nature of God, illusory nature of ego, and thus efface ego. In Karma Yoga, you selflessly serve and efface the ego. In Raja Yoga, you witness the ego and destroy it. So finally, the purpose of all yoga is only one, to destroy the ego. And ego is born out of identification. So disidentify from what you are not, Bhuta Sangha. Identify with what you are. Pay attention to reality. That's all we need to do in life. Continuing verse number 2. In page number 59 and 60, you have all the three verses put together. So you don't have to search. Okay. Repeat once. Pratarbhajami manasāṁ vacasām agamyaṁ Vaco vibhānti nikhilā yad-anugraheṇa neti vacanair nigamā avochuḥ. Tam deva-devam ajam acyutam āhur agryam. Pratarbhajami manasāṁ vacasām agamyaṁ Vaco vibhānti nikhilā yad-anugraheṇa neti vacanair nigamā avochuḥTaṁ deva-devam ajam acyutam āhur agryam. Pratah Bhajami. Earlier it was Smarami, now it is Bhajami. In Smaranam, it is just remembrance. But in Bhajanam, Bhajanam means to serve. Bhajanam means to chant. Bhajanam means to glorify. So many meanings are there. Reverentially remembering. Bhajanam. With all reverence, because Smaranam means just remembering. You can remember so many things with so many attitudes. But Bhajanam, with lot of reverence towards this truth. So as yesterday I was saying, mind also should be involved. Intellect also should be involved. You must love the truth. You must value the truth. When love and respect come together, that is called as reverence. That is bhajanam. With great reverence, you must shift your attention to this. When there is no enough reverence, then the mind doesn't stay there. Mind stays only when there is reverence. Something very important, then the mind stays. That's the purpose of studying the glory of the self. Understand the glory of the self to abide in the self. Otherwise, mind will not abide. Just like in the room there are 5 people. And suppose one person is a really big person in the society. Then where your attention will be? that person only. Some else is somebody, some Tom, Dick and Harry. You don't pay attention. You pay attention only to that important person, isn't it? That is the nature of the mind. Mind gives importance to important things. So then, the glory of the self is to be known that the whole world is existing in it. And it is right there with you. So then, creating that kind of feeling in the mind, then the mind should be shifted. Sometimes what happens, a great person is there with you, but you don't know who that person is. You are sitting next to that person. Many times it happens, in the flight and all. Somebody is sitting next to you, you don't know him, stranger. Then, so many people are coming and taking selfie with that person. And who is this person? People are all knowing. Only I don't know. Then you come to know. He's a big man. So as long as you don't know the glory of that person, you don't value that person. Though that person is sitting next to you. Then when you understand the glory, your sitting also changes then. You sit with all humility. You see. In the same way, Sakshat Bhagavan is sitting in the heart, ever available for our experience. But we don't know. Therefore, we don't pay any attention. So when we study the scriptures, Ramana Maharshi was reading some scripture. Somebody asked, Bhagavan, you are the person who has realized, why do you want to read scriptures? No, I want to see what all they have written about me. So when you read the scriptures, what are you reading? Your own glory. Self-glorification. Only thing is, it is Supreme Self. So when we study the scriptures, this is the bhavana you should have. Not that some self somewhere, some Brahman somewhere. No. Right here. Just like when you look at the mirror. Though you are looking out, your attention is in. Scriptures are called Shastra Darpanam. Darpanam means mirror. Shastra Darpanam. All our scriptures are also mirrors only. It is talking about you. It is not talking about something else, somewhere else, somebody else. No. Pratarbhajami. Okay. With all reverence, may I shift my attention to this. Who is that? Manasāṁ vacasām agamyaṁ. That which cannot be reached, agamyaṁ. Gamanam is not possible. Reaching there is not possible. By manasā vacasām. Through the mind, through the speech. You can't reach it. With the mind you can't grasp it. With the speech you cannot describe it. You can't describe it because it has no properties. Only that which has properties can be described. That which has no properties, how will you describe? Forget about Brahman. There are so many things in this world which you cannot describe. What is the difference between sweetness of banana and sweetness of honey? How will you describe? You have to know it, that's all. To a blind person, describe what is red color. How will you describe? So even the object of senses in this world cannot be described. What to talk of anugraheniya? that which is the subtlest. Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram Anoraniyamsam Anusmaredya. Even the things with property we are not actually able to describe. But all these names are all because you experience it, I experience it. We need just a label to denote that experience. So the language is nothing but so many labels, that's all. Actually, no experience can be described. Vacasām agamyaṁ. Manasa also agamyaṁ. What kind of manasa? So Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, asamskritena manasa. Impure mind, for them this self is far, far away. Ananta koti janma also, they will never reach this, though it is very, very close, very, very near, if the mind is impure. If the mind is pure, right here it is there, right here. If the mind is pure, that pure mind can be quietened. In that quiet mind, you experience this. Manasa vacasām agamyaṁ vāco vibhānti nikhilā yad-anugraheṇa. Yad-anugraheṇa, but because of whose grace? The speech is illumined. Now this is one very important technique in Vedantic meditation. What is the technique? Through the seen, you infer the unseen. This is the technique. This is Vedantic meditation. Exactly like how do you infer electricity? Electricity cannot be seen, but then you infer the presence, isn't it? So you switch on the light. If the light is glowing, there is electricity. So what do? You switch on the light and look at the light. What do you see? You see the light, you don't see the electricity. But even as you are seeing the light, where is your attention? So you are looking at one thing, but your attention is upon something else. This is Vedanta. You can't look at the self because self is the observer. You can't see it as an object because it is a subject. So just like electricity cannot be seen, but then you can infer. You look at something, but your attention is upon something else. You switch on the light, maybe you are looking at a chair, but you are not looking at the chair, you are looking at the light, because of which the chair is illumined. And your inference is, yes, there is electricity. In the same way, in Vedantic meditation, you look out, but your attention is in. You are looking out at the objects. So, vāco vibhānti, speech is there. But there is one light, the light of consciousness, which is illumining the speech. Vāco vibhānti, it's a light. Consciousness is a light. So what is the definition of a light? Light is that in the presence of which things are revealed. Definition of light. The presence, that presence in which things are revealed. If this is the definition of light, the external light can only illumine the external world. There is another light, light of all lights, which is able to illumine everything. What all does it illumine which the external light cannot illumine? Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. The smell in that light of awareness, I am aware of smell. Gandha, Shabda, in that light of consciousness, I am aware of Shabda, sound. So this is the way you have to do meditation. When you are sitting in silence for meditation, you are able to hear so many sounds. But then you are not paying attention to what that sound is. From where is it coming? Who is making it? No. How is it that I am knowing it? There is that consciousness, because of which I am conscious. In that light of consciousness, that sound is illumined, is known. Shabda, sparsha. So when you sit for meditation, pay attention to different aspects. Sparsha. If it is very cold, how is it that I am knowing it is cold? I am aware of low temperature. The mind should not go, who is this fellow who is not setting it properly and all, and I am shivering from here, and this fellow. They should have come on time and do all this. Everything, every day I have to remember it. Gone. You see, when your mind is filled with raga dvesha, this is what happens. This is the test of purity. You are sitting for meditation, Pratarbhajami. You are sitting to pay attention to God, but trivial things, little things distract you, and the mind goes unwantedly everywhere. When ragadvesha is not there, you are able to abide in consciousness. Even when that thought comes, who is the person who has said it? Hey, not now. Shut up. That's the way. Then the thought goes away. Any thought which is taking you out into the world, you cut it. To cut it, even before that you should be aware that I am getting distracted. You see, these are all the abilities of pure mind. The pure mind is detecting the distraction and correcting the distraction. These are all the subtle abilities of a pure mind. What about impure mind? It gets distracted and it is not even aware that it is distracted. Half an hour sitting, thinking this and that. Oh, I am here. Half an hour gone. World parikrama is over. Vishwa parikrama. Not even aware that I am gone. So this is one test of spiritual progress also. How much aware are you? Intensity of awareness slowly grows. And that is reflected in all your behavior also. The day-to-day world, how you carry yourself. You are aware, you are aware, you are aware. Thousands of things are not going in the mind. Yes, this I am going to do, that only you do. This I am going to think, that only you are thinking. In this world, multitasking is considered to be great. In spirituality, it is considered to be a defect. It's a monkey mind. Mind should focus only on one thing. So these multitaskers, they mess up everything. Messing up also happens. Hundreds of things are running in their mind. So actually the more things run into your mind, lesser your attention upon each. Whereas if your attention is upon one, you do it beautifully well. Everything beautiful. God will never put you in a situation where you have to do multitasking. No. He will give you only that much responsibility which you can accomplish, which you can do it properly. To save time, we do multitasking. And in the end up, we waste all our time. There are all the delusions of mind. Oh, I have to do this also. I have to do that also. I have to do this also. Less time. Okay. Madness. In fact, you do many things which are actually not needed also. And what is needed, you don't do. So this can be a very good exercise. When you're doing something, ensure that you are paying attention only to that. So before paying attention to consciousness, etc., pay attention to the job in hand. That is the first step. Paying attention to consciousness and all later. Whatever I am doing now, am I thinking of this and nothing else? That's called as being in the here and now. Being in the present. That itself can be a beautiful meditation. And you will be amazed if you are just thinking about the work at hand, your mind is peaceful, focused. Tremendous amount of peace descends. First plan out your work. This I am going to do in this, say, 1 hour, 2 hours. These are what. Then after that, pay attention only to that, only to that, only to that. Don't allow the mind to go here and there. Amazingly, you will find you have conserved a lot of energy. Because we ourselves don't know how much of energy is dissipated in our wasteful, unwanted thinking. Most of us get exhausted by thinking only. Doing, not by doing. Once you do this, then practice of being aware that is the next step then. The first step is paying attention to what you're doing. Okay, so this consciousness is all the time illumining. So this is a light of all lights. Ordinary light can illumine only the physical world. This light can illumine different perceptions. Seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, smelling. There is a light in which we are able to see all this. Again, in this light, we are also able to watch our thoughts. Pratibodha viditam matam amritattam hi vindati. Pratibodha viditam. So as you are sitting for meditation, thoughts go one after the other. Pay attention to that consciousness, in the light of which thoughts are illumined. And with this knowledge that this consciousness is the very support of the whole world, that reverence should be there. This is the only reality. This is that Bhagavan who is shining in my heart. Vaco vibhānti nikhilā yad-anugraheṇa. Yen neti vacanair nigamā avochuḥ. Nigamā, the scriptures, they try to indicate this reality. And what is the technique they use? Neti, not this, not this. The technique of the scripture is shift your attention to the observer. And how is the attention to the observer shifted? Whatever is observed, negate it. Neti. From the observed, shift your attention to the observer. This is the technique of the scriptures. Suppose you are watching stars through the telescope. So who is the observer? You plus the telescope. What is observed? The star. Na iti, not the star. Then you observe the telescope. Na iti, that also gone. Now how is the telescope seen? With the eyes. Am I this? The very fact that I am able to see this eye, watch this eye, observe this eye, not with the eye, but with the mental eye. I am not this also, because it comes under observed category. Drishya vastu. That is also drishyam. Then comes the mind. Is mind me, the drashta? No, that also I can observe. The very fact that I am able to observe the mind shows that I am not the mind. Neti. After that what? Vrittayastvaham vrittimāśritaah vrittayo mano vidyaham manah. These thoughts also, they are of two types. What are the two types? Idam vritti and aham vritti. So many thoughts are there in the mind. Thoughts are of two kinds. This thought and I thought. Idam vritti is called this thought. This is a flower, this is a house. Any thought of the world is this thought. Idam vritti. So Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, Vrittayaha tu aham vrittim ashritaha. All the thoughts, they reside in aham vritti. I thought. Now this is a very interesting observation. All your thoughts, they are born out of I thought. And what is this I thought? The bundle of notions that you have about yourself. How did we gather? By analysis of life, superficial analysis. I am a man, I am a woman, I am short, tall, dark, fair, fat, thin, whatever. So by looking at the body, I have gathered an idea about me. So all those notions I gather about me, that is called as aham vritti. I look at the world. A child is born. Then you are able to interact with the child. An old man is dead. So then I come to this conclusion. When this body is born, I am born. When this body will die, I will die. So date of birth. My date of birth. Others will write about my date of death. I don't have to worry about it. But I can celebrate my date of birth. Okay. So I have gathered one feather in aham vritti, my date of birth. Then I go to school. Then again I compare myself with others. Teacher is teaching something. And there is one fellow, tak, he is answering. I am not getting any answer. I am a dull fellow. Another feather in his aham vritti. Then there is sports. I am running fast and everybody is behind me. Great. Sports star. Another feather. So in this way, somebody told something and I became miserable. I am a very sensitive person. There is a plant, you touch it and it becomes just. What is that? Touch me not. Another feather in that aham vritti. So in this way, constantly comparing myself with people around me, I go on forming notions about me, opinions about me, understanding about me. Who am I? So that bundle of notion which I have about myself, that is called as aham vritti. Definition of myself created by me. That is called as aham vritti. So Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, Vrittayaha tu aham vrittim ashritaha. All your thoughts will be based on aham vritti. What is your definition about yourself? All the other thoughts will appear accordingly. Suppose you have nut allergy. It's very common in America. Nut allergy. The moment you see a cashew nut, hey, I should not eat this. Where did that thought come? I should not eat this. In aham vritti, there is this thought, I am allergic to nut. You see? First aham vritti, then comes idam vritti. So therefore, what are we trying to do? Yes. So na iti, na iti, na iti. Now which is closer to me, aham vritti or idam vritti? Aham vritti is very close. So these thoughts also they have got two layers now. Outer layer, inner layer. Outer layer is the thoughts regarding the world. The inner layer is the thought regarding myself. And the outer layer thoughts depend upon the inner layer, my understanding about myself. And the mind is functioning constantly to give you two things, peace, security. Constantly mind is working in this way, to give you peace and security. Mind is programmed to do that. If there is any danger, immediately mind becomes active. How to come out of that danger? If there is any disturbance, mind becomes active. You cannot be peaceful in disturbance. You will try to find solution. That's how the mind is designed. Okay. Now, the process of neti is happening now. So everything outer gone. Now you have come to thoughts. Now you are in idam vritti. Now you start watching idam vritti. How do you watch idam vritti? With aham vritti. And the law of witnessing is, witness the thoughts and the thoughts disappear. Identify with the thoughts and the thoughts multiply. This is a law. If you show interest in the thoughts, thoughts will multiply. If you remain an uninterested witness, the thoughts will die. Exactly like people also. Somebody is telling a lot of masala stories, gossip. Do you know what happened? This person. What happened? When you are showing interest, then that fellow is also inspired. A lot of spices. He will present that matter to you. But you are just sitting there. Do you know what happened? What happened? And that fellow says, nothing happened. He goes away. When you show interest, that other person talks more. When you don't show any interest, that other person immediately winds up. Gives some excuse and leaves you. Mind is also like that. The mind will bring worldly masalas through idam vritti. You just watch, saying that I am not interested in this. That is called as na iti. Go away. Then what will happen? Idam vritti will settle down. First, settle the idam vritti. But for some time you may appear that the mind is peaceful, but there is another vritti which is there. What is that vritti? Aham vritti. Unless aham vritti is destroyed, you will not reach to aham. To destroy this aham vritti is very difficult. As you are going nearer, the difficulty becomes higher and higher. That's how it is. Conquering the peak is always difficult. Dropping the idam vritti, yes, possible. If you have vairagya, yes. If you are not interested in that sense object which is brought by the mind from the world, if you have vairagya, you can drop it. So here comes the importance of vairagya. If you want to witness a thought, you must be detached from that thought. If you are interested in that thought, you get attached to that thought and get carried away by that thought. Getting carried away means getting carried away from your center. Remember, center is your treasure. That is Bhagavan. You are sitting for meditation, and suddenly the thought of your grandchild comes. Your face lit up. My child. I don't know whether he has eaten or not. I don't know where he is now. Today is his birthday. I should wish him. Gone. You see? At the seat of meditation, if you are attached to that thought will carry you away. So if you want to drop the idam vritti, what is necessary is vairagya, dispassion. Then you can drop it. At present, when I am seated for meditation, no thought of the world. Whoever that may be, whatever that may be, nothing doing. At least for this half an hour, 1 hour. Then comes aham vritti. That's an even bigger challenge. But if you have practiced humility, dropping aham vritti becomes easy. That is why even before sitting for meditation, there are a lot of preparation you need to do while living in the world for that successful meditation. Preparation has to be done. What are the preparation? In dropping aham vritti, preparation is never boost your ego, nourish your ego. Somebody is praising you. Everybody is successful in some or the other department. Recognition will come, awards, rewards will come, praise will come, if you have lived a decent life, decently good life. So when people praise you, oh sir, you have achieved this, nobody could achieve, you achieved. But deep down, if I am going on patting my back, very good, very good, I am a great man. Even I did not know I am so great. So what happens? Your ego becomes stronger and stronger. Ego is a sweet poison. Always remember this. Egoistic joy, it is a sweet poison. It is sweet, but it's poison. Why is it poison? It will imprison you in aham vritti. Aham vritti is a jail. If you are a great achiever, maybe the jail is little big, but you are still jail. Instead of sitting, you can just walk here and there, but still it's a jail only. It's a gold chain. You are in shackles. How does it matter whether it is iron chain or gold chain? So while living in this world, see, the tendency of the ego is always to take credit of everything and then boost itself, nourish itself. Unless we are really alert and aware, ego will go on nourishing itself in so many ways. And if I have led an ego nourishing life, at the seat of meditation, I will be stuck at the aham vritti. Why? I will not be able to witness aham vritti. This is the final stage. Remaining as aham, I have to witness the aham vritti. Remember, aham vritti is also a vritti. Vritti means thought. Any thought can be witnessed. The only thing which cannot be witnessed is the witness. Every thought is a part of Prakriti, matter, it can be witnessed. Any matter can be witnessed. Now this problem is aham and aham vritti is very, very close. And if I have to see a distance between aham and aham vritti, the only distancing factor is purity. Greater the purity, greater the distance. Greater the distance, clearly I can see aham vritti as an object and aham as a subject. And to have that distance, we have to live an ego deflating life. Whenever the ego tries to take, no, Bhagavan did it. I am just an instrument. So the ego will say, how is Bhagavan? You only did, no, you work hard and therefore you got it. Then you have to convince him, no, that working hard also inspiration came from him. All the factors that came, to support, to make me achieve something, everything is decided by God. Again and again you have to convince that right understanding has to be hammered. Never bask in the glory of ego. So this is the way in which a seeker has to live. When ego is hurt, don't hurt the person who hurt your ego. That's what you have to do. Generally, what is our attitude? If somebody has hurt us, that person becomes a villain. I dislike that person. He hurt me. I will not talk to him again. He is doing such a great service to you. He is destroying your ahamvriti. Bow down to him. Many times, our ego is present, we are not even aware. We think, I am an egoless person. Only when he is hurt. Just like sometimes thorn get into the flesh and we are not aware that there is a thorn. When you press it, there is pain. Otherwise, you don't see anything. Ego is also like that. It is there, hiding. We think I am a very humble, simple person and all. But somebody tells something and the hurt feeling comes. Greater the ego, greater the hurt feeling. And slower the healing. For so many days you carry that hurt, trying to get rid of it through so many other distractions. Go through that hurt feeling, go through that pain. Don't try to distract yourself. When you are going through that pain, don't start watching some YouTube videos and try to come out of it. No, just go through that pain. Say, see, this pain is because of that ego. Educate the mind. What is education to be given? Ego is pain. That pain is a great blessing. It will help you drop the ego faster. So when you live such a clean life, pure life, selfless life, ego puncturing life, then at the seat of meditation, dropping the ahamvriti becomes very easy. Because throughout the day you have been detaching yourself from the ego. At the seat of meditation also, you are able to drop the ego easily. So remaining as aham, witness the ahamvriti. An egoistic person can't do that. He can't even see the difference between aham and ahamvriti. It is one. Glued with Fevicol. Completely one. Because that's the way he has lived. That is why karma yoga is mentioned first. Then comes dhyana yoga. Through all the worldly interactions, ensure that ego is sublimated. So we are talking of neti. Outer world, out. Then comes thoughts. So when you sit after heavy work and all that, when you sit, for some time the mind is thinking of all the worldly things. Then 10 minutes, 15 minutes, all the worldly disturbance goes on. Then internal vasanas, they start emerging, manifesting. That is when you have to do this. Thoughts are removed. From idam vritti, shift to aham vritti. And from aham vritti, shift to aham. And then what happens? Ahamayam kuto bhavati chinvata aipatatyaham nija vicharanam. When aham vritti is witnessed, patati, gone. When illusory eye drops, the real eye shines forth. Ahaminashabhajyahamahantaya Svurati hridsvayam paramapurnasat. When that illusory eye falls, the real eye shines. What is the nature of that real eye? Paramapurnasat. Absolute, full, complete, perfect. Tam deva-devam ajam acyutam āhur agryam. You come to know this self in me who is deva-devam, Lord of Lords. All gods gain power from him only. Adi, Deva. Ajam, unborn, unlike this body. Body has the birth, but there is something in this body which has no birth. Birthless, deathless. Acyutam, imperishable, infallible. Agryam, the cause of everything, the foremost, from which everything has come. Such a perfect state. So this is the neti technique. So to what extent you can go within depends on how much pure the mind is. Purer the mind, you revel inside. Impure the mind, you revel outside. Okay, now let us sit for 5 minutes. We will chant this verse once again. Pratarbhajami manasāṁ vacasām agamyaṁ vāco vibhānti nikhilā yad-anugraheṇa neti vacanair nigamā avochuḥTaṁ deva-devam ajam acyutam āhur agryam. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ